When you're looking for profitable products for your Amazon business, a lot of times we're looking at the profits and making sure that we're going to make money. But there's another component that's just as crucial, if not more so. An item could be super profitable. It can make you $100 profit. But if it's never going to sell, who cares? Making sure that your products are profitable and they're going to sell is what leads to a successful business. So in this video, I'm going to show you how you can ensure that your products are actually going to resell on Amazon. This is super important. And I want to paint kind of two different pictures for you before we dive in so that you can ensure that your products are actually going to sell. Scenario number one is you find a home run product. It's got 100% return on investment. It's going to be a $20 profit, super easy to prep. You can get your hands on a lot of them. Amazon's not on the listing. Everything looks great, but the product doesn't sell. It gets 3-4 sales a month. So everything looks great, but the product has no velocity, so it does not matter. A product can look amazing, but if it's never going to sell, then you need to pass. And then on the other side of that, let's say that a product sells 5,000 times a month, crazy velocity, and we can get our hands on a ton of it, but it makes like 10 cents profit per unit. In this case, the product is selling, but it's not profitable. And that is, again, a product that we want to pass on. Sellers often just look at profitability or they just look at velocity, but it's the combination of those two things that's going to lead to a successful product that you can buy over and over again, that you're going to be able to start to sell and build a successful business. So now that we understand why it's so important to find the balance between those two things, let's go ahead and dive into understanding how to tell when your products are actually going to sell. So really what I'm going to say here is you need to have a tool called Keepa. It's only about $20 a month, and this tool really is necessary for selling on Amazon. It's going to show you the historical data for any product on Amazon, and this is what's going to allow you to make sure that the product is selling, that it has good velocity, and see its historical price, and ensure overall consistency in the product. We're going to primarily focus on how to use Keepa to determine velocity today, and we'll cover some other methods if you don't have Keepa, but you really need to be getting Keepa. It's only about 20 bucks a month, and it is crucial. So here I am on an Amazon page, and I'm going to scroll down, and I have my Keepa graph here activated. This is just through the Keepa web extension so that it shows up anytime I'm looking at an Amazon page. And there's a ton of different data here, but I'm going to turn off everything that is not a velocity indicator because I just want to help you understand how to use Keepa to determine velocity. First off, if you don't have Keepa or you're brand new to determining velocity, we're going to start off with something called sales rank. And on any Amazon page, you can search for rank, and you can do this within the Seller Central app too if you're scanning there. But I'm going to go down here. It shows me that the sales rank is about 13,000. But what does that mean? So sales rank is a number that almost every product on Amazon has, and it's the number within its respective category that it's selling. So the closer the number is to 1, the faster the item is to selling. If this item were ranked number 1, then this item would be the best selling product in its category at that period of time. The reason why we don't want to just use sales rank is because it's only a snapshot in time. Sales rank is always changing depending on how fast the item is selling in comparison to the other products in its category. So this is why we like to use Keepa to look at the historical sales rank, the historical velocity, and we don't just want to be looking at sales rank. Sales rank can kind of give you a glance, but it should never be the determining factor for making a purchasing decision. Keepa is always where we want to look. So you can kind of use that as a starting point, but really you want to be looking at Keepa. And you can see here, right now the sales rank was 13,000, but yesterday it was 17. Back here it got as high as 22, and you can see it's always changing. So we want to be looking at Keepa to make sure that the products are historically selling. Now, what do all these drops mean? On a graph like this, anytime the sales rank goes down, that's the green line here. When the green line goes down, that means that the product sold at least one time. So we can see here this drop, the product sold at least once, sold at least once, at least once. Anytime we see a drop, we can count that as at least one sale happened. And that right there is a pretty good kind of baseline for determining how many times the product is selling. You want to use this as the baseline. Often you'll find up that it's kind of on the low end, and the product is actually selling more than the drop count. But for determining initial orders, it is a good starting point. You can also use this bottom graph here on Keepa to kind of help determine velocity as well. First off, we're going to look at the review count, which is the green line here. And basically what we want to be seeing is that the review count goes up. A lot of people say you can generally estimate an item has sold around 100 times for every review it gets. You can use that as a baseline, but really the moral of the story here is that we want to be seeing the review count going up. Because in order to be getting reviews, the item has to be selling. So if the review count is going up, then it's safe to assume that the product is getting sales. Next up, we can look at the new offer count. And what we like to be seeing here is that new offer count is going down, or at least isn't staying consistent. Because what this tells us is that people are going out of stock. If the new offer count is only going up, then that's an increase in supply and the price is probably going to pop and start to fall. But more importantly, it could signify that the product isn't selling because new sellers aren't going out of stock. When we see the new offer count going down, that means people are probably going out of stock, and to go out of stock, they are most likely selling out of the product. To sell out of the product, they have to be getting sales. So that is another way that we can determine that products are selling. Looking at these three things should give you a really good idea to ensure that your products are selling. And that's how you use Keepa and sales ring to determine that products are actually selling. Combine that with making sure that they're profitable, stable, that you can get your hands on it. And that will combine to create a successful product that you can successfully resell on Amazon and start to build a business that's going to generate a lot of profit and meet your business goals.